You know the feeling. You're deep in the zone, working on something important, and then, bam, the screen flashes an angry blue, covered in text you don't understand, and just like that, everything's gone. We've all been there.
And then you see this message. Ugh, the infamous blue screen of death, the BSOD. It feels like your computer just threw its hands up and gave up on you. A total dead end.
But what if I told you that screen isn't just a failure? What if it's actually a clue? It's your computer's last-ditch effort to tell you exactly what went wrong before it has to shut down to protect itself.
So in this explainer, we're going to turn that panic into power. We'll decode the blue screen, run some diagnostics, fix corrupted files, and even peek at some pro-level tools. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, first up, let's put on our detective hats. The key to solving any BSOD mystery is learning to speak its language. We're going to translate those super cryptic stop codes into simple ideas that actually make sense.
So here's the big secret about the blue screen of death. It's actually a safety feature. Yep, Windows runs into a problem so big, like a piece of hardware failing or a major software fight, that if it kept running, it could cause some serious damage. So it slams on the brakes to protect your system.
All right, let's tackle a really common one, memory management. I want you to picture your computer's RAM as a huge library. A good librarian knows exactly where every single book is. But with this error, it's like the librarian lost the card catalog. The system is just running around in a panic, trying to find data it needs, and it can't. Eventually, it just gives up. This usually points to a problem with your physical RAM sticks.
Now here's another one that sounds way more complicated than it is. IRQL, not less or equal. Forget the name. Just imagine a device driver, let's say for your graphics card, is like a car trying to illegally cut into high-speed traffic. Your PC's core, the kernel, is the traffic cop. It sees this car about to cause a massive pileup, so it blows the whistle and stops everything. This error almost always means a bad or outdated driver is breaking the rules.
So now that we can kind of understand the message, what's the first thing we do? Well, let's open up our PC's first aid kit. Before you even think about software, there are a couple of super simple physical checks you should always try first. First up, the good old hard reset. Sometimes a little bit of leftover electricity can make computer parts act, well, weird. By shutting it down, unplugging it, and then holding that power button down, you're basically draining all that stray power. It gives your hardware a completely fresh start, and you'd be surprised how often this works. Second, we're going to check the BIOS. You can think of the BIOS as your computer's most fundamental rulebook. If a setting in there gets changed by mistake, it can cause all sorts of chaos. So just restart your computer and start tapping the F2 key to get in. Look for an option to load defaults, save, and exit. This just puts everything back to a known, stable configuration. Okay, what if that basic first aid didn't fix it? No problem. It's time to get a proper diagnosis. And the good news is your computer has its own built-in doctor ready to run some tests. Now, on a Dell machine, this is super easy. Just restart and start tapping the F12 key. That'll bring up a boot menu where you can choose Diagnostics. The computer will then start scanning all of its hardware, your RAM, your hard drive, everything. If it finds something wrong, it'll give you a specific error code. That code is the golden ticket to figuring out exactly what's broken. So is the problem with Windows itself or some other software you installed? Safe mode is how you figure that out. It's a bare-bones version of Windows. If your computer works fine in safe mode, then the culprit is almost certainly a third-party program or driver. And the easiest way to get there is to just hold down the Shift key while you click Restart. So let's say the hardware tests all passed, and safe mode tells us it's a software problem. Our next target is the very heart of the operating system, the Windows system files themselves. You need to remember this command. It's one of the most powerful and simple tools you have, sfc/scannow. That stands for System File Checker. You just run that from an admin command prompt, and Windows will literally scan all of its own important files and automatically replace any that are broken or missing. It's like a magic wand for fixing Windows. You know, if you want to investigate a crash that already happened, Windows actually keeps a logbook. It's like the black box recorder for your PC. Just open up the event viewer, go to Windows Logs, then System. You're looking for an event with the ID 1001, which has the codename Bug Check. That's the official record of the blue screen, and it's full of juicy details about what went wrong. All right, we've spent a lot of time reacting to problems. Let's switch gears for a minute and talk about prevention. How do we stop these blue screens from ever showing up in the first place? This is where you let an automated tool be your best friend.
For Dell machines, you have Support Assist, and other brands have similar programs. Hey, remember our traffic cop analogy with the bad driver? Well, this is how you prevent that. These tools automatically keep your drivers and your system's BIOS up to date, making sure all the parts are playing nicely together and avoiding those conflicts before they start. But what if you've tried all of this and you're still stuck? For those really stubborn problems, well, it's time to break out the professional's toolkit. I want to introduce you to a tool called DART. It's the Microsoft's Diagnostics and Recovery Toolset. This is a whole collection of heavy-duty utilities designed to rescue computers that won't even start up. It's what the IT pros use when things get really serious. Think of DART as a paramedics kit for your PC. The magic of DART is that it works even when Windows doesn't. You can use its registry editor to fix a broken setting that's stopping your PC from booting, or you can use File Restore to grab your important documents off a machine that's otherwise dead. It even has a crash analyzer that can dig into the system's memory dumps to find the single line of code that caused the whole mess. It's a real powerhouse. And this all brings us to one last, really important idea. A big crash, like a blue screen, it rarely just happens out of the blue. Your computer usually gives you little warning signs beforehand. Maybe it gets sluggish or an app crashes here and there. The real question is, are we listening? I want to leave you with one final, super empowering tool that's already on your computer. Just search for Reliability Monitor. It shows you a timeline of your PC's health, logging every little crash and every warning. If you check it once in a while, you can see if things are starting to go downhill, and you can fix those tiny problems before they have a chance to turn your whole screen blue. And that, right there, is the real secret, moving from just fixing crashes to preventing them entirely.